Welcome to Peep This Out Reviews with Ian K.
Stay frosty.
What's going on, everyone? It's Ian K back again with another high quality foodie feature for you here on Peep This Out Reviews, this time on live stream as well as replay. Any moment now you're going to see all these peeps jumping into the chat over here. Welcome to the live stream, guys. The final one for September, if you can believe it. My birthday month is coming to a close. Here we go with Critical East Japan, Bus. We got Mr. Jimmy celebrating his birthday very shortly here. Thanks so much for jumping on. Guys, we're jumping right into the review right now, and if you're watching this on replay, you've already seen the thumbnail. For those of you catching it live, we're going to start Halloween just a little bit early, and you may kind of make out what I'm wearing right now. I'm going to show you what that is a little bit later, but take a look, guys. Something a little quick for you tonight. Trader Joe's Ghosts and Bats Crispy Potato Snacks. Now, this is more of a PSA than it is an actual review because I love these things and I wanted to show them to you guys. I actually put this on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago. Head on over to IG and you can find me, Peep This Out Reviews, and you can see what I thought of these here. These are really amazing, guys, and they're very simple. They're crispy potato snacks in the shapes of ghosts and bats, and I absolutely love what these are. Trader Joe's has so many cool things. You go in there for one thing and you can literally walk out with like 4 or 5 other things. So it's kind of crazy, actually. So before I get started on this right now, let me just read you the very back because they always have some cool stuff here. So what this says, let me just start from the very top here for you. There once was a house in a forest dark, where ghosts and bats upon a lark happened onto potato crisps and commenced munching forthwith. No squeaks or moaning were ever heard, instead a crunch, crunch, crunch so absurd. It was not long before of their favorite snacks, the ghost and bats began to smack. Spooky. That's what it says at the very end right there. But if you want to freeze that, you can take a look as it tries to focus in. But it is really, really cool, guys. And obviously Halloween, this is my time. This is literally when I come alive every single year. This is my time every single time in the fall leading into the holidays. No matter what may be going on in the world, Halloween is eternal. So it really is an amazing situation. So let's just get into this real quick again. Crispy potato snacks. And just so you guys know, it's simply potato flour, potato starch, vegetable oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, canola oil, salt, and a little maltodextrin. It's very, very basic. So we got a lot of peeps in the house here right now. Great to see everybody on here. I'm going to open these up for you carefully. And just so you guys know, I actually bought 3 bags of these recently. My wife has already opened up one of them. This is the second. $1.99 for, I think it's like 5 ounces. Yeah, 5 ounces for this here. But take a look on the inside, very nondescript. You can kind of see on the very bottom a little bat peeking out there on the side. But let's just pull one of these out here. Ghosts and Bats. Take a look at that. Let that focus in here. A very simple mold, as you can see here, guys, but these things are deadly. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't need anything to dip into these whatsoever, but they are amazing. I got to tell you right now. And I'm noticing Ed Keaton jumping in here with the super chat donation. Chances are you're going to see yourself pop up on the screen over here in just a second if it hasn't done it already. Ed, thank you so much for contributing to the channel, which thank you guys in advance if you decide to do that. Everything goes towards the channel for all the content and everything there as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. As you see, it's popping in here right now. Stay frosty, Ed. We love you, man. But guys, here we go. The Ghosts and Bats. A lovely situation as it focuses in with Ed Keaton right over there. There you go here. It's a bat. Let's give it a shot. Crispy, light, the perfect amount of salt. And man, it gets thicker as you eat it. I don't know how they do it, but it's almost like it inflates with just one. Let me grab a ghost here, actually, because I want you to see the others. Here we go with the ghost. These are actually really nice here. They've got personality, guys, believe it or not. Let me see if I can try and focus that in. Focus, focus, focus. Hopefully pull back. It's focusing on me. Let me see if I can swing this way out of the way. It's not working. But as you can see, it's a really, really cool mold here. No matter as I'm doing it here, as you can see, it's a ghost. Let's give it another shot. I may be kind of like doing this all throughout and just chomping on these throughout the stream tonight possibly because they're very addicting. But the flavor rivals anything that I've really had potato chip wise. I gotta be honest, whoever makes these for Trader Joe's, it's awesome. Straight potatoey flavor, it's very light salt, but it's perfect. It gives you just enough that really kind of keeps you going and keeps it addicting, I gotta admit. Pretty crazy. If you guys are watching this on the replay right now, what are some of your favorite snacks that you get like addicted to that you can pretty much kill like the whole bag in one sitting if you're watching some of your stuff there? Ed Keaton, you are the best. I appreciate you. All of you guys here on the stream, I appreciate you guys being here right now. You all have choices to watch content on YouTube. I'm so happy that you guys take it upon yourself to come over to me to see what I've got going on. You guys make the world go round, I gotta tell you guys, always. So, another couple of these here. Let me bring out that ghost one more time for you. Well, you may see him a few more times throughout the stream here. I used to live back east in New York, and there was a place we used to go to. My mom used to take me, and actually my mom is watching this right now. So Mama Peep, thanks so much for doing what you do and allowing me to be on the planet. I appreciate you. But we used to live back in New York, and there was a place called Hicks, I think Hicksville, and they actually had a ghost. It was like kind of like a big nursery for flowers, pumpkins. If any of you guys are familiar back east of with Hicks, it's definitely a spot you want to go to. And every year they have the whole thing lit up with pumpkin, with Halloween, with all that good stuff. And Otto was the unofficial spokesperson of Halloween over back at Hicks over there. It's basically like a big ghost that they had set up there. So I gotta say, guys, I guess this is kind of dedicated to Otto over in Hicks. There we go with a nice zoom right there. That is a beautiful situation right there. But I gotta say, really, really tasty. 5 ounces, $1.99 for this bag. And I gotta tell you guys, you're gonna kill the whole thing virtually in one sitting. This really doesn't get much past a day and a half, 2 days with the both of us here, so I had to pick up 3 of them. But an easy recommendation. Overall score, you already know what it is, guys. This is a straight out 10 plus. It is like the perfect type of addictive snack where it's not crazy. It doesn't get your fingers like all lit up with like all kinds of cheesy stuff, but it's so good flavor wise. I usually rock this with hummus. I don't know about you guys, but I love hummus with this. Nehemiah, 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. Which one, Freddy Foodie King or Freddy Krueger? I think I'd be more afraid of Freddy Foodie King because that fool is the nug stealer extraordinaire, and he knows I love him. He knows I love him. You already know what it is. So guys, 10 plus easy recommendation on this right now. A very, very solid recommendation, I gotta tell you. And I'll give you one more close-up of our little bat friend over here. These things are just so much fun to eat, and they are so addictive. I can't really stress it to you enough. You know, my family who's watching this here right now, they already know what it is. We're all hopelessly addicted to these Ghost and Bats crispy potato snacks from Trader Joe's, all of us. It is just an amazing situation. And for my wife to crave these as much as she does on top of me, that says something, because she's not really a snacker with this type of things. You know, she's like a little bit more of the healthier type of thing. But I'm always stressing everything in moderation. But when you've got a bag like this open, how could you settle for moderation, right? I mean, I pretty much can kill this, like I said, on a daily basis. So you better believe before Halloween is out, your boy Ian K is going to be lighting up Trader Joe's and going through bags of these things because when the final week comes and they're not going to be available, that's usually when I stock up on like a gang load. And believe me, I look forward to this every year. So solid. Good stuff. Good stuff. So before I close out this portion of the stream, for those of you guys tuning in for it, let me grab a quick drink here. I'm telling you, those things inflate as you're eating them. They get thicker and thicker. I don't know how they do it. But it's awesome. It really is awesome. Okay, so do me a quick favor. For those of you catching this on the replay who just tuned in to check out that review, the quickie review of the Ghost and Bats crispy potato snacks from Trader Joe's, drop some comments down below. And like I said earlier, what are some of the most addicting type of snacks that you like to have that you can pretty much go through bags like water? What are some of your favorites? And if you've actually had these already from Trader Joe's, do me a quick favor and drop those comments down below. Let me know what you thought of them as well. And with that, this is Ian K closing out another high quality foodie feature for you, this time on live stream, bringing you brand new content every single week here on my channel. So why you stay tuned for the next review coming real soon. In the meantime, stay frosty. Guys, you already know what it is. Welcome to the Friday night live stream. It is great to see you guys. Give yourself a round of applause if you are here right now by choice, or give yourself a round of applause if you happened upon this stream by accident and you're liking what you're seeing right now. I'd love to see some clap emojis or some hands here in the chat. That would be awesome. It is great to see you guys. It is a nice balmy 94 degrees out right now, so I've got like my little fan action going over here, so it's not really doing too much for me, but it is great to see you guys, every single one of you. Very, very crazy situation with the heat here, I'm telling you right now. But I look forward to this because this is a nice way to end off the week. We got Brian Olson saying wash the hands. I'm going to catch up on some of the chat as well. Great to see everybody on here right now. Guys, we've got 55 amazing people watching here right now. Once the stream ends, it's probably going to be a lot more than that. But I appreciate you guys for being here. Welcome as always. It's Ian K from Peep This Out Reviews. You guys are here with me on a Friday, and it is great to be here with everybody. So let's see who we've got in the chat here. We got a lot of people actually here in the chat. Armando, what's going on? Halloween is your favorite? Halloween's going to be different this year due to 2020. Yes, it's going to be different, but I doubt you're going to see anyone having a problem wearing a mask on Halloween. So, which is kind of strange to me because they're still kind of pimping, you know, the actual costumes and Party City and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, where is anybody going this year? I mean, if you want to get dressed up and I guess have that effect, I guess it is what it is. But you know, it is what it is this year. What can you do? Which, by the way, just so you guys know, and I'll just share it with you because I'm glad that I found out today, and I've always been very careful with this stuff. Negative for COVID. I have my test done every single month, so everything is cool. And everything is nice there. My wife as well. And we're doing what we can to stay happy and healthy and doing what you can. That's the best medicine, is doing just that right there. Jack Cooley jumping out with a super chat donation, popping up in just a second over here, which you guys will see activate down below over here. Thank you so much. You guys are obviously going to be in the show notes as official sponsors of the stream tonight. Thank you so much for doing what you do here. Every little bit counts towards the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm glad that you're looking forward to those streams, Jack. I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun to do, and it's like I'm usually telling my wife, my family, whenever I'm doing these streams, it's kind of like my escape. And I think I've told you guys because I think you know how much I love you, right? I mean, it's genuine, it's humble, and I'm grateful for you guys. But I got to tell you, it's something that I look forward to, and I'm really grateful that you guys do as well. So it is all good. E-Ricard, yes, congrats to the Kiners. We are okay. Top 3 favorite scary movies. Well, the first one is going to be this guy right over here. This is a vintage shirt that I have over here. This is from Halloween Horror Nights in Universal. Halloween, Michael Myers. This is the real deal right here. Absolutely love it. After that, I'd probably say Evil Dead. Definitely the classic right there as well. And for number 3, probably the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Honestly, those are probably the big ones right there. But as you guys know who my favorite is, I'm just going to jump right on into it right now. You already know because I'm showing you guys here. Let me see if that'll kind of focus in. My lighting is kind of keeping the focus from doing what it needs to do. But as you can see, I wanted to take this off the shelf over here. This is a vintage Movie Maniacs collection, series 2 from McFarlane Toys from like years ago. But I love it because look at the detail that it comes with there. That's the classic Halloween pumpkin with that slash from the nose down to the mouth. We've got the butcher blade right there as well. And then obviously the detail that McFarlane is known for good old Mikey. And this is going to be kind of dusty in the very back, but they had some really cool ones back then. Scream, Child's Play, Psycho, Chucky. This was from the series 2 back in the day. So I'm a real fan of these type of collector toys. And there's a lot of newer versions of Michael that are out right now from Nika Studios. I think I've seen in Target and a few other places. So very excited to see that as well. Worst horror movie I think I saw over there. Well, I can't tell you what really was a really horrible horror movie. I mean, generally they're so bad that they're good, right? I mean, in terms of special effects and everything like that, as far as I know. But I got to tell you, Halloween always tops in terms of that as well. And yes, Buzz, I see that there. Funny that the mask was based on William Shatner. Yeah, they basically just pulled all the hair, sprayed it, I think, or just pulled all the details off the face and sprayed it white. And it became as iconic as it is. So it is what it is there. You already know. 2 Eyes, 1 Pink. Let's see. Have I seen Dead Alive? I have not. Although there is a movie called Antebellum, I think, that just came out, which looks pretty awesome. So I do have to take a look at that more recently there as well. Ed, how do I feel about the Scream movies? Do I know they're making a 5th one? Yes, they are actually. I think William Dillard, I think one of the characters, he was in Hackers. I saw him on IGN doing a live stream this past week, and I tried to actually type in there, is he going to have a cameo in the new Scream movie to some degree? Because they always bring everybody back, even if they've been killed off or whatever. But no reply. But yes, definitely know about that for sure. Those are awesome movies. I mean, at least the first 2, to be honest, I think. Snack King Co, yo, what's good, man? Great to see you on here, Snack. Doing it big over with the review crew over there. Thanks so much for jumping on, man. Shout outs to you guys. Pushing that positivity, having fun doing what you do. That is what it is all about. That is what's all about. Great to see. We got Annette Cervantes in the house as well. I'm trying to get caught up on all the stuff over here in the chat. Tony, Nika makes great stuff. I just bought a couple of the Ninja Turtles from the original movie. You know, with this year being, I think, the 40th anniversary, or I think around the 40th anniversary, 79 actually. Last year was the 40th anniversary of Alien. They're actually coming out now, I think, with some custom paint job figures of the original Alien cast. You know, so Dallas, Parker, obviously Ripley, that's in there as well too. So I would love to actually pick those up and actually add those to the back. I know it's kind of crazy what I have behind me here right now, but I can always try and make room for some of those. I mean, if the wifey doesn't know about it, because it blends into the back, right? You're not watching right now, right, Carol? I just want to make sure. Oh, let's see here. Dylan. Okay, have you seen Dead Alive? It was directed by Peter Jackson, Lord of the Rings. Okay, it's one of the most outrageous horror movie experiences ever. Dead Alive. I'll take a look at that. I'm actually in the final stages of my next couple of reviews. Actually, for the one coming tomorrow, you guys have a fun time coming your way tomorrow. I think you're going to enjoy what you're going to see. You didn't think it was all going to be about Carl's Jr. this week, right? Those are kind of placeholders, you know, the last couple of breakfast ones for, like, you know, we're moving on from there. So naturally, like I always say, I've got brand new content every single week, and you will always have something every single week. But I think you can kind of tell which ones are kind of like, you know, the ones that are I think okay, and then you have the ones that come out that are kind of like a signature type of thing to make there. So you guys know I don't softball it, so it should be a lot of fun for what you guys are going to see. So it should be a good time for you. But let's see. Nehemiah, I would like to know, okay, Ian, what would you do if you were home alone on Halloween night and then you hear a Freddy rhyme? Well, I'd probably join in. As long as it's not little girls singing it, because that freaks me out. Anything where there's little kids singing or anything creepy like that, I'm not really a super fan of that. Much like dolls, you know, porcelain dolls. My mom was really big when I was younger on porcelain dolls. And sometimes when I would come home from being out or something like that, I would be, you know, I'd come in the house and I'd come in the door and I'm going upstairs to go to my room. And at the very top of the steps, my mom would have these little porcelain dolls that look like if you look funny, like you look at them quickly and then look away, you'd think they were blinking or they'd follow you real quick. It was one of those really like mannequinist looking, you know, marionette type of situation. I mean, I was not a fan. So if you guys are a fan of porcelain dolls, let me see like a clown face or something right over here. Or better yet, if they freak you out, give me that face like, oh my God, like, you know, the emoji like you're scared of it. Because I got to tell you, I am not a fan of porcelain dolls or little clown dolls of any type there. So no bueno. Tony DP says Poltergeist gave him nightmares. Yeah, that wasn't really for kids. I mean, that PG rating was stretched pretty thin when I was a kid for what you can get away with in PG back then. Big Burger, do you know if Burger King is doing any Halloween burgers this year? Nothing that I've heard just yet, but I always have my ears to the ground naturally with all of my contacts. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Ed Keaton. Yes, thanks always for your channel and for all that you do. Ed, I mean, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We got Marshall donating $50 towards the channel. Wow, man, that's craziness right there. Thank you so much, Marshall. Man, that is insane. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much. Absolutely, show notes going in there for all of you guys donating towards the channel. And let me just say again, I appreciate everything that you guys do. Just being here, like I said, you have choices on Friday nights, and I'm so glad that you guys make my channel one of the stops. And again, amazing people in the house here right now. We got 60 plus peeps rocking it out. So shout outs to Marshall, shout outs to Ed Keaton. Greatly appreciate you guys. Absolutely. That is amazing. Have you seen is why can't this year stop being bad? You know what? It's 80% what happens. Actually, it's 20% what happens to you, 80% how you react to it. So yes, it is crazy right now, okay? But as long as we just keep it positive, keep it together, and just like every single day moving forward, we'll get past it. But yes, I know, it just seems like the hits just keep on coming, and it is not a good look. Not a good look at all. So I can appreciate how you feel with that. Just know my heart's in the right place with you guys. Like I said, I look forward to these days, you know, especially because it's a break from my editing. It's a break from my normal real world as well. So yes, I agree. It is not a good situation right now. Let's see here. Let me shoot on down. For any of you guys who may have answered or asked any questions during the review, if you can cut and paste that and actually pop that in over here, I'm at the very bottom of the chat here now. So I'm trying to get caught up because we have so many peeps. It's so hard to get to everything that I'm trying to get to over here right now. But I'm going to try as much as I can. Cantus Kid, anything new with Del Taco? They have a salad I saw that they added, which is like a $1 thing. Nothing too crazy. They're still pimping out those crispy chicken situations right there. So that's kind of the newest thing currently. which I actually did recently, not too long ago, including like there's like a burrito version as well. But really some pretty good stuff there for sure. But nothing other than that. I mean, it's really kind of a holding pattern really for as we get further into the fall currently right now. Let's see. Gary C. My mom texted me and told me I'm handsome. Do you think she's being honest? Only you would know that, but I would think most parents would think that their kids are amazing. And I'm not going to say that my mom doesn't say I'm handsome all the time, but sometimes she says things and I'm just kind of like, oh, stop it. Stop it. Let's see here. Ed Keaton, scariest monster movie. Oh, wow. Scariest monster movie. An actual physical monster in the movie. You know, there is a monster movie. I can't think of the name of it. It came out, I want to say, a couple of years ago, and I saw this. And it starts off with a group of friends that are hiking in a forest. It's always, that's, you know, it's a bad sign when movies begin like that, right? And apparently something happens and they get, you know, they're tortured or kind of captured, and they're trying to like get out of the forest. And it turns out that there's like a demon or something in the forest that a group of people are kind of sacrificing things to appease it. And it's only until the very end that you actually see what this creature is. And it's it's a combination of like a deer with horns and like a really tall with like, it's big and burly but with thin limbs. I can't think of the name of what it is, but it's actually on Netflix. And that was actually pretty freaky because the actual imagery of the demon was pretty bad. I got to admit, it was pretty freaky. But it's the lead up to it, because you see things, people getting snatched, you see people getting chased in the perspective of the camera's moving. But I can't think of the name of the actual thing. It's like a pseudo indie film, and then at the end of it, it's like, you know, these two people, eventually it comes down to it. The Ritual. That's it. The Ritual. Yes, Big B. I just saw that one on there right now. That is what it is. Sorry if I scared you guys. The Ritual. You guys need to check that out. That's the only thing that I'm thinking like in recent memory, like monster movie. When you think like creatures and stuff like that. There's so many of them over the years, but it kind of like all goes in one ear out the other at this point. But I saw that not that long ago, and I was like, wow, that was pretty crazy. Yes, I appreciate that, Big B. The Ritual. Absolutely there. And of course, Paranormal Activity, the first one at least. And definitely there. Brian Olsen, I haven't seen Midsummer, but I know that's kind of like a freaky cult thing. It looks like it's like a real happy-go-lucky springtime with all these girls with their things in their hair, but then something else gets crazy right there. So we'll have to see. Armando, what is your favorite of the Rose Parade? You know what? Just the fact that I live right off of Colorado and I can go to it. Naturally, it's been canceled, you know, this coming year for obvious reasons, but I'm able to actually walk to it and then basically, you know, watch it live. And I usually have it on my IG. I would have tons of videos. If you go way back into the archives of my IG, you'll see plenty of videos from the Rose Parade live as it's happening, which is kind of cool. And yes, The Exorcist, the original, was freaky. Ed Keaton, actually the director's cut version of that was pretty freaky. When you see one of the deleted scenes is actually Reagan going down the steps backwards as like a spider type of thing, which was kind of creepy to see. It really felt out of displace and just disjointed because people weren't really reacting. That was my only real gripe with The Exorcist, is like the bed's raising off the floor, she's raising off the bed, and they don't really have like this sense of disbelief on their face. They're just going to battle with her. But from anyone else normally would be like, oh my God, it would be more insane. But visually it was nasty. I mean, you guys all know that The Exorcist was pretty crazy. Buzz, what did you think about the Halloween movies when they remade them? I didn't like the Rob Zombie one. I saw what he was trying to do. I can appreciate that, but that changed the whole dynamic, so that was trash to me. I didn't like that at all. Even the second one, trying to link it family-wise with Family Ties again, I didn't feel it. But the new version of it, obviously the one that's kind of erasing everything. I mean, I still like, you know, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, one of my favorites, back in 88, and then a year later, 89, Halloween 5, which I thought they would continue on with the little girl, but they didn't. But the new version of Halloween from 2018, and then obviously Halloween Kills, when that was supposed to be out in October this year, but it's been pushed to next year. I'm excited to see that, obviously. I'm a fan of Anthony Michael Hall. I actually met him when he was on NYPD Blue a long time ago. They were filming that in South Pasadena, very close to the Michael Myers house, actually. Right around the corner, they were filming an episode, and he was playing one of the quote-unquote skells being, you know, interrogated by Sipowicz and John Kelly at the time, one of the early episodes, or, you know, one of those. And I met him, so I'm a huge fan. And the fact that he's playing Tommy Doyle in the sequel, which is awesome. I mean, I can't wait. He looks awesome, just the behind-the-scenes pictures. So I'm excited for that. And then Halloween 3. If you guys are fans of Halloween 3, give me a pumpkin right over here. Give me a pumpkin here in the chat if you guys like Halloween 3. It's kind of a guilty pleasure with the whole masks on and with the Stonehenge getting blasted in the by watching a certain commercial on TV. But if you guys are a fan of Halloween 3, the Season of the Witch, drop a pumpkin right over here in the chat. Better yet, drop the pumpkin in the chat. But if you guys like ghost movies more than like slasher movies and that type of thing, pop a ghost here in the chat. Let me see which you guys prefer. Do you guys prefer slasher movies? Give me a pumpkin. If you like ghost movies or supernatural, spiritual, and that type of, supernatural horror, give me a ghost here in the chat. Let me see how many peeps we have watching here tonight. Out of the 69 plus who are participating here right now, let me see which actually reigns supreme. Is it going to be the slasher films with the pumpkin? Or is it going to be the ghost supernatural stuff there? Because the supernatural stuff, obviously, there's some reality to some of that stuff. So you never know. I'll be curious to see what people have to say. Andrew, Pinion, original Halloween, classic, big fan. Always enjoyed H2O. Yeah, H2O wasn't bad. Definitely wasn't bad. Guilty pleasure on that one. You already know what it is. Very cool. The Omen from Brian Olsen. Omen is the best. Yeah, The Devil's Child, 666. That's a classic one right over there. Critical has got the ghost with the knife. That's almost like what is some of like The Grudge, some of the real supernatural horror that actually have some physical aspects to it there, which they've remade The Grudge a few times. You can't replace Ju-Yon The Grudge. I mean, I think, Paul, you know that. That's a classic right there. Which, by the way, there's a series on Netflix actually, which is a kind of it's similarly based on that. A little hard to follow, but we watched it actually. I think it's like 4 or 5 episodes. My wife and I, we checked it out, and it wasn't bad. Buster Rhymes and Halloween, garbage. I'm sorry, Adiddle23. No, Halloween 6, the resurrection of Michael Myers, whatever that is, was trash. That was probably the worst one. I gotta tell you like that. The worst one. Carl Broussard. Yes, I see that in here right now. Thank you so much. I'm jumping down to the chat. It's all over the place here, but I see you right over here. Thank you so much for that super chat donation, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you guys are going to be in the show notes down below, and I greatly appreciate that. And Carl Broussard, one of my day ones as well. Thank you so much, as always. I try and get to all of the chats and the comments and all of you guys here, but this chat gets ahead of me. So let me send a huge shout out really quick to all the amazing mods here in the house as well, doing their due. We've got a pretty solid community here on the channel, I think, as you can tell. So I know there's a lot of craziness that goes on elsewhere, and I stay as far away from that as possible because I just have no time for that, and I don't think most people who are doing this hardcore are trying to do. But at the same time, I appreciate you guys, and like I said, I'm very appreciative of the mods doing what they have to do there. So thank you so much for doing that. Yes, Critical, you need to check out The Ritual. It's crazy. And Antebellum, it looks pretty awesome as well. It was supposed to be out actually a few months ago, but obviously everything has gotten pushed in there as well. So, but The Ritual it's crazy. It really is a pretty crazy movie. Of course, Trick or Treat. Little Sam, that's classic right there. So they've been talking about a sequel to that for a long time. So we'll see what happens. But it looks like we have like almost an even distribution of slasher movie fans and supernatural horror fans. Paranormal Activity really kickstarted a lot of that there. So we'll have to see what happens. Stranger Things attraction was at Universal Horror Nights. Yes, I remember seeing it there. I wasn't too impressed with it. They didn't really have a lot happening throughout there. It was a lot of set pieces that were just set up and you walk through them with very little anything kind of happening right there. So I don't know. Annette, the original Pennywise creeps me out. Yes, absolutely there. The original Rocky Horror Picture Show. Tim Curry, and also from Legend. Legend is a great movie as well. The makeup job on him as the devil or the demon in that is insane. Tom Cruise, classic movie back in 1986. But yes, really, really awesome. So H2O, Snack is not a fan of. I know there's every Halloween movie has its fans and its not so great fans who like it or don't like it, I should say. So I can appreciate your feeling on that. You can't replace, in my opinion, I think Michael Myers in Halloween 2, the original Halloween 2 in 1981 or 1980 around there. I think his name was David Wolf or Dick Wolf. I think that's his name. But that actor who played Michael Myers in that movie in the second Halloween was awesome. I thought a little bit more menacing than the first one, even though Nick Castle, who plays, he's legendary also for playing the original Michael Myers and then also cameoing as Michael in some of the scenes in the new reboot. I got to tell you, first Halloween 1 and 2 was amazing because they all took place the same night. So you went from at the end of the first movie right to the hospital, and it's still going throughout the night. I mean, they're still trying to do what they need to do, and then by the end of that, that was really the end of the film, technically. So I love how they stretched that out, which I thought was good. Let's see. Bus, H2O was actually filmed in La Puente. Wow, I did not know that. That's crazy. That is crazy. Tony DP, Paramount is also filming a new Jackass movie. Cool. I think they had a billboard up where they were doing some promo with that, Tony. I think that's where I may have seen that before. But I didn't know that, Bus. It was filmed in La Puente. Kind of, I wonder if it's by the same mall where they did Back to the Future, because that's where that scene takes place, where he goes back in time right there, in the Puente Hills Mall. Ed, how about Constantine with Keanu Reeves? I mean, he was awesome. I really enjoyed that movie. I'm surprised they didn't do anything further with it. But that would be cool to kind of see that again, which would be awesome. E. Ricard, whenever Jason went to New York, was a dumpster fire. Yes, it was. I mean, that was pretty much like, mayhem on a boat. They literally spent 20 minutes in New York, Elizabeth. I think you know that. That was not Jason Takes Manhattan. He took Manhattan for a walk for 20 minutes, and then that was pretty much it. I don't know. Big Burger Boy 2005. Did you know Starbucks made a pumpkin spice hotline? 1-8333-GET-FALL. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm really a fan of the pumpkin spice drink, and they've brought back the that kind of like that super foam on top of their cold brew with their pumpkin cold brew right now, which is amazing. Sleepaway Camp for the first twist ending. Yep. Slumber Party Massacre as well. There's a lot of classic ones. I mean, it really is an amazing situation in terms of horror going back in time right there. You already know. Let's see here. Joey Rios, Halloween 2 when he walked through the glass. I love that scene. Yes, that's classic at the end. And then that stupid cop that leans over him. It's like, oh, stay away from him. And then he stands up, and then it is what it is. But that's great. He was very menacing in that movie. It was very well done. Very well done. Nehemiah, till for everyone out of your bag, M&M's in the freezer for a little bit. I agree. Anything in the freezer, chocolate-wise, is going to be amazing. I think they actually advertised peppermint York patties that way back in the day. I mean, they always had like the thing where you broke them, and then you see people's breath because it was so cold. But anything in the freezer like that is awesome. Peanut butter cups, Snickers, anything Reese's. You guys already know what it is. For any of you guys who put candy in the freezer, give me some ice cubes over here. I probably should have warned you ahead of time, and I usually remind you guys halfway in. Have your Emojipedia up as a separate tab, because I may be asking you guys to light up the chat with some emojis. But if you're a fan, let's see some ice cubes over here of putting chocolate in the freezer. I'm actually a fan of Reese's peanut butter cups like that. Once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. Snack. I'm a big Hills Have Eyes type of guy. Did you like the remake? There's a remake of those. I think they did 2 of them like that. The Hills Have Eyes. But the classic, yeah, and House of a Thousand Corpses, absolutely. Yeah, some of Rob Zombie's old stuff. The Devil's Rejects too. Snack, you're speaking my language right now, man. That's some good stuff right there. I'm sick in the head and got a crunch of Rob's wife's sister in the movie. Hey, not mad at you. Not mad at you whatsoever. He puts her in all of his movies, and she's a pretty girl, so you already know what it is. But yes, absolutely. Let's see. Brian, Joey's World Tour, Sea Snacks, or the Food Reviewer? They've all got their amazing personalities, but Joey obviously is classic. I mean, obviously Joey is Joey. But without a doubt, Sea Snack's in there too. I mean, Snackhead, all the Snackheads unite. I mean, he is a really cool comedian. Chris Clark on IG, just an all-around good guy. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of Boogaloo. When he does the Boogaloo character, I lose my mind every single time. It is just hilarious. So Sea Snacks has a special place right there for sure. Joey, of course. Food Reviewer, I don't know which food reviewer you're mentioning there. Which one else are you mentioning there? I'll see if I can keep track of this one here for you, Bri. But cool. So Main Street in La Puente for H2O. That is crazy. That's not too far from where I live, actually, believe it or not. So I kind of figure out something to do for Halloween here, or at least, touring around or something. Annette watched Back to the Future. Very nice last weekend. Classic. Those are classics right there. So we got, let's see. Dom is turning 39 next week. That's technically the second to the last year of your 30s, my friend. Once you hit 40, that's the last year of your 30s. 41 is when you kick in. So you've got a couple of years left. Trust me, that's the angle that I'm working with as I just turned 47. So I've got a little bit. I've got a little bit. Nehemiah, what's your favorite Jurassic Park World moment? You know what? Probably the first time the T-Rex in the first Jurassic Park. That's always going to be the best, honestly. That whole lead up to that was just amazing. Everything else after that has been a retread of those moments. So you really can't replace how iconic that was back in '93, and I remember watching it then in the theater and just being blown away just by the fact that it was a huge animatronic puppet that they did so well with the CG at the time. It was like, you know, literally world-changing special effects. So that one by far, when that T-Rex and you see the vibration in the water and you see things, and then finally when it shows up, absolutely right there. Brian, Army of Darkness is the best Evil Dead movie, and why? Why is Army of Darkness the best Evil Dead movie, and why? Well, I wouldn't say it's the best, but in terms of pushing the mythology along, it was the best for that, because they really filled in a lot of the backstory of what the Necronomicon, I always have trouble saying that, Necronomicon, that Book of the Dead, basically. They basically went through and really gave you a really good history of exactly where that came from, and the Deadites and all the demons and all that stuff. But it was more slapstick horror, and they really toned it back. PG-13, Universal took it over, they licensed it, and it wasn't as good since. But Ash vs. the Evil Dead, that's a classic right there, that TV show. You can do more with long-form TV horror movie-wise than you can with actual physical movie sequels. That's why I'm really a fan of watching Netflix shows that have like, you know, 10, 12 episodes. You can do so much with that. Which, if you guys are not watching Lovecraft Country right now on HBO, you guys are missing out. Huge. That show is awesome. Lovecraft Country. Highly recommend it. Let's see here. Jason Voorhees is a good boy from Andrew Pinion. Yes, Mrs. Voorhees really loved her son. Until she got her head cut off, and then he went crazy. Let's see. Armando, have you tried the Halloween donuts from Dunkin'? You know what? They don't have anything set up by me just yet. There's a few things for pumpkin donuts, but nothing in terms of the Halloween there. But naturally, once October 1st rolls around, I'm sure we'll see that leading into this coming month. We'll have to see what happens. Let's see here. I saw something with... My chat is moving crazy here right now. Let's see here. Man, I just lost what I was going to do. Oh, there we go. Okay, Bry, how do you like the OG Texas Chainsaw Massacre? That's a classic. I love the 1968 version of that. I have a couple of versions of it on Blu-ray, and I really, I mean, intensity-wise, you can't literally, from that point on, the feeling of dread when you're watching these kids approach the house and then things happen, but when they finally get, you know, taken in, and then you see what happens and how visceral it is, and it comes out of nowhere, how gross it becomes, that literally is insane. They try and replicate that in the sequels and the redos and the prequels, but again, you really can't get by the original classic of what it is. But yeah, definitely, that's an OG classic from Tobe Hooper, Brian. You already know. That's awesome. That's awesome right there. Drew's got a Frankenstein cup in the freezer right now. You're speaking my language right there. Green chocolate, I think that is, Drew, but that's the peanut butter cup, you know, all that stuff there for Halloween. This is the time of the year for it. The guy who played Jason in Jason X is Bakersfield local. Very cool. I think that's actually, if it's Kane Hodder. Kane Hodder is the classic Jason who's done like a bunch of stuff. Andrew Pinion, thanks so much for the super chat donation. I appreciate you. You will find your name down below in the show notes. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. Greatly. Let's see here. Going down the line. Let's see. Do I play Warzone? You know, I haven't yet. I have not played Warzone. It's been out for a while, but I'm kind of teetering towards the idea of the Xbox Game Pass, because the Project xCloud Gaming, I should say, the xCloud, I'm thinking about there, because I want to see if I can transfer what I've already done on the games that I have now, because a lot of them are on Game Pass, to actually play it, getting the controller and doing it on my phone. I think I'd probably find a lot more time in between normal stuff instead of sitting down with the console to do it. So considering how mobile I always am. Arnett Cervantes, you don't look a day over 27. Thank you, I appreciate that, even though it's 20 years longer. Thank you. Oh, my chat is jumping up over here. Jackie Hero Food Reviews, thanks so much for jumping on. I see that you're jumping in here. I have a different chat compared to what I'm seeing on the screen here with you. So I'm trying to catch up as much as I can. I kind of keep it concurrent. But let me shoot down towards the bottom over here. Ed Keaton, what do I think of The Thing? That is one of my all-time favorites as well. John Carpenter, the original, which was actually a remake of a film from the 50s. I love The Thing. That's classic John Carpenter right there. The sequel that came out was the prequel, actually, that led up to supposedly the events, which was basically just a redo of the exact same events, only from the Swedish side of that base station in the Antarctic. But it was forgettable, but it was okay. Too much CG, not much less practical, and it wasn't as good as it could have been. Definitely that. Let's see. Bus, all the candy talk is making me want to go get a bag of candy. I'm telling you right now, but you know, it's funny. I said I was actually going to be munching on these as we're going. So let me get a couple in here real fast. Drew, what's for dinner tonight? No burgers tonight. I'm probably going to have breakfast food after this. I've got a couple of things I have to finish up editing-wise. And I want to get into last week's episode of Lovecraft Country because I'm like a week behind right now. But I can tell you, you guys are going to have fun with tomorrow's review. It's going to be a lot of fun for you. Let's see. Richard Hang. Sorry I'm late. It is okay, my friend. It is okay. Great to see you guys on here. And guys, I'm really very humbled by the super chat donations tonight. I really greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much to every single one of you guys on here. It is great to be on here. The trips in the house as well. You guys are awesome. Love all the IG stuff, all the posts, and just everything that goes on with that when I see it. It's just really great stuff. You guys need to be jumping on over to the trips. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. They've got some great content as well. And all the amazing peeps that you're seeing on here. If you're seeing any avatar, even a lot of the mods, if you see food reviews, if you see reviews, if you see vlogs, whatever it is, jump on over and say hi. Dayton Live over at the Dayton Live show, the review crew, Snack King Cole as well. There's some great people in the community that are just having a blast doing what they do. And like I said, it's very infectious and you can tell online, which is really awesome. Trips, no worries. Shout outs to you guys. It is really just a lot of fun to be part of the community here and just contributing. And everybody just with their voice and putting their best foot forward with everything. You guys don't know how I feel about what we do here on the channel, as well as just being part of the community and just having a lot of fun. It's just all about that positivity always. Life is too short for anything but right now. Definitely right now, especially right now. Dom, for some reason I don't like the Rob Zombie's Halloween, but I did like the 28. Yes, I know. I feel the same way. I didn't really care for the direction that they try to make Michael what he was, and it just didn't work. I mean, it's a grand experiment, his interpretation, but then it just became a retread of the first movie at the end, towards like the third act on, and that's pretty much what it was. But Annette says, I love breakfast for dinner. Yes, I'm all about, like I say to my wife, about making quarantine cakes. I bought this big. And I think I told you guys a while back, I bought this 10-pound bag, and Mr. Jimmy, mi familia, part of my family, knows this already, a 10-pound bag of Krusty's pancake mix. And I'm trying to get rid of it. And I realized when I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's awesome. We'll make pancakes. It'll be fun. It's months later, right after all the drama happened earlier this year with the whole pandemic situation. I'm trying to get rid of this bag. So I got to try and do something. So I'm probably going to end up, and it's funny that you just reminded me right now by reading that, Annette. So thank you. Shout outs to you right there. I'm probably going to have to do that as well by making some pancakes tonight. But I'm probably going to make, like I said, a quarantine cake, which is basically just a big pancake. I put like 3 scoops of of the mix. I put a little vanilla extract into it there, whip it up, and then pour the whole thing into the pan, and I do this big flip, and it's like a huge pancake, and I'm really kind of feeling that right now. So I'll probably do that. But good times over there. Jackie, thank you for supporting it. Awesome that we all support each other. I agree. I wish I can personally get out there and do as much as I can with a lot that I see, because there is some amazing content creators that are really, burning that midnight oil, putting out the great content as well. But just know that we're all in good company, and I love the fact that everybody is just doing what they're doing right now. It's just, I've never seen more positivity as of late than I have with what's going on. Now granted, there's a side that obviously is kind of like bad as well, which you kind of hear about all over the place, but the goal is to really err on the side of the light side. Just keep focusing on what you need to do and put out the very best content that you can. It's not earth science what we're making, it's just our own personal spin and our own personal way of doing it there. So pandemic cakes, I like that. Critical Eats, I like that. Pandemic cakes. Thomas McDonald, thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate you right over here. Thank you. Notification bell is on from Bus. He's saying over here, I appreciate that. You guys know you should be enabling that on your mobile device as well under YouTube, so that way you'll actually get notified a lot more for certain things coming out that way, which is pretty nice. So good times indeed. All right, so let's see here. As we're winding it down, guys, it's 10 to 9 already. This is like a fast hour. I got to tell you, this goes by very quickly right now. Let's see. Armando, did I like the Jack in the Box Super Bowl commercial from 2009? You're going to have to remind me of that one. Scott Matthew, what it do, brother? Thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here right now. All right, I think I'm finally caught up with as much as I can over here. Big Burger Boy 25, do a giveaway with it with your signature on it. We'll have to see. Maybe doing some autograph stuff. The McRumble from E. Ricard. I'm going to have to take a look at a few things here. We'll have to see. All right, Drew did a 60. Oh, speaking of Drew, real quick, I don't know why I didn't touch on this in the very beginning. My boy Drew did the 6XL Fat Burger, the Triple King. Literally, that you can't call it the Triple King. It's the Triple King, the double Triple King, we'll just call it. What is that like? It's like 3 pounds of beef that they made. They basically made that burger that I did when we hit the 30,000 subscriber mark. I put out that video showing the Fat Burger's Triple King, the Triple King burger, which is the XXXL burger, which is literally like 3 patties of like ridiculousness. 3 half-pound patties. It was 1.5 pounds, and he decided to actually double it. All I can imagine, I can't even imagine being a fly on the wall watching that being ordered, Drew. I can only imagine the look on their faces there. So that, I think that may prompt, on one of your streams or the next video where you can talk about how that situation went down, about how you ordered that and what they may have done, or said to you about that, because that's pretty crazy right there. But if you haven't seen that video, he premiered it today, and it was just insane. So take a look at that video on Drew's Food Reviews and you'll see what I'm talking about. The thumbnail is glorious because of just the monstrosity of beef on the sandwich and the burger. It was just crazy to watch. But yes, no joke. No joke, I gotta tell you. You already know. So great to see everybody on here. I love all of you guys. We got 49 peeps in the house as we're rounding out towards the end of the stream. So if you've been here since the beginning of the hour, and if you're catching this on the replay and you're here this long, personally for me, what I like to do is I podcast a lot of these long streams out when I'm driving, when I'm listening to my favorite creators, podcast style, because when there's long form content and I'm driving around, I'm in traffic, I'm doing what I'm doing, I like to kind of get my information that way. Thank you if you've made it this far in. Obviously, if you've donated towards the channel too, thank you so much for that as well. Anyone who may have done that on PayPal, I won't know till after the stream, so I'll make sure to have you guys down below as well. If you have done that, obviously you'll find yourself there. But thank you so much for that. And if I can just touch upon really quickly here, because last week, after the stream that we had here last night, and oh man, Armando, you beat me to it. I was actually going to talk about this here right now. For you guys who don't remember, or maybe you do, last year when I was on live stream, we had a 7.2 earthquake a little bit further up north, and I think it was like northeast of Southern California, and it was a ways away, but it was enough to really kind of shake, and something happened here while I was on stream, and I almost literally lost it, because I freak out with earthquakes, because I just don't do well with that at all. So last Friday, and ironically it was crazy because I started getting messages from people directly on Instagram, which was kind of crazy as well, asking if I was okay. So thank you. I love you guys. I appreciate it. But yes, last Friday at about 11:30 that night, we had actually a 4.9 or like a 4.6, I think it was, that it downgraded to 4.5 earthquake. Literally 6 miles for the epicenter from where I live here in Southern California, in Pasadena. About 6 miles from here. So it was very close, and I freaked out more when I found that out because I couldn't believe it. But I was actually editing video in my living room that night, because getting the stream replay ready from last week when we did the wild cuts. Last week was the or wicked cuts. We did the wicked cuts jerky, and I was putting together that stream for the next day, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden it sounded literally like there was a huge truck coming down the street, like a residential street. And it was crazy. It was literally crazy because it sounded like a rumble, like there was really like something was approaching. So if you can imagine, like I'm looking at you guys right now, that's how I'm looking at my computer. I'm on my laptop in my living room. And all of a sudden I hear it and I look up, and then right when I look to my left, just to kind of like, because I was like listening for the noise, all of a sudden everything went like this quick. Everything rocked quickly, and then it literally stayed for a second, and then it stopped. And of course I looked back at the chandelier above my table, and there it was, and it was crazy. I put on the TV and Twitter lit up. I actually tweeted out something that night right after it happened, but since that time there's been a whole bunch of aftershocks, and nothing, knock on wood, in terms of, you know, feeling anything that I felt anyway, but there's been so many since. But Dom says, yeah, I was around El Monte. A lot of people like closer towards southern San Gabriel area. It really literally 6 or so miles from here, and it was ridiculous. And you really, for me personally, you don't want to go through it because there's nothing you can do about it at all. You can't control it. You just have to just deal with it, and then, you know, it'll pass. And you hope it doesn't last long. But one way to look at it is that, you know, a little bit of release like that is a good thing, because you don't want it to be even bigger to maybe kind of trigger something else down the road. But naturally releasing a little bit is good, because then that means maybe there's a chance that it'll be longer for the next one now, because it's got a little out of its system, you know. So, but yeah, Carl Broussard, yeah, I was like, yeah, please. I remember almost passing out in front of you guys, and it was insane because the rolling kept going. Like, you heard like the bang, and then I noticed it right away because I remember looking up, and my blinds here in front of my desk were moving, and then next thing, you know, everything, you know, there was a little movement behind me here, but it was really freaky. So gotta tell you, it was nuts. It was nuts. Michael Domayer, thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate you. Great times. And again, it's all about the Halloween month coming up, guys. It is all about the you know, doing what we can to celebrate it as best we can given the situation. I was thinking about what's going on for Halloween, because naturally you really can't do too much, and I can't really be out anywhere without wearing something on my face if I'm going to be out in public. So how that's going to work, I don't know. So I'm still trying to figure it out. So just know that I'm going to try, because in some way, shape, or form, we have to do justice to our boy here, right? I mean, we have to. It's all about, you know, that Halloween action right there. So we'll figure out, you know, what we're gonna do, and then see what we're gonna do from that point forward there. But Halloween is, like I said, my favorite time of the year, and I'm super excited for it. Absolutely there. So let's see, going down the line, the last couple of things on here right now. Let's see, E-Ricard, yep, got the Super Quake to look forward to. Don't bring it out there. Don't put it out there, E. Seriously, don't put it out there right now. Shelly George, no one's ever. My son got out of bed to woke me. You know, my niece actually slept through it. And that's a good thing, I guess. If you can sleep through something like that, it's all good right there. Just me out here. I'll never forget that night. Yep, it was crazy. When you were live on that 7.2, it was nuts. It really was. It was pretty crazy that night. It really was. Snack, I appreciate that. I've got another Michael Myers shirt that I'm going to be putting on as October goes on. But this is my favorite from Halloween Horror Nights from Universal Studios, when they do their thing every year. And every year I would go and get a shirt, regardless of, you know, I got to find something to bring back as a souvenir. And in this case, that one was from 2015. You can kind of see that right there. Halloween Horror Nights 2015. It's a classic. And yeah, 7.2, Freddy. It was no joke, man. It was no joke. Let's see. Have you seen it? Well, Taco Bell be bringing back the Triple Double Crunchwrap back last year. I think we asked that last week. But everything old is new again, obviously, in one way, shape, or form. You know, whether it's the stacker, you know, any of those, they all come back in some way, shape, or form under different promotions. So we'll have to see what happens going forward with Taco Bell. But considering the Triple Double Crunchwrap has been out, what, like twice now since it's been out? And I did it once the first time, I believe, when it was the jalapeno, I think I did, where I kind of overstretched the image at the time, when my skills of making thumbnails were still kind of moving along, which I still think they're just kind of moving along. Yes, absolutely that. Let's see. Bus, getting close to the end of the stream. Great chat. Yes, thank you so much for jumping on, Bus. I appreciate you. I'm going to be jumping in to make my quarantine cake very shortly here. Annette, were you live when the 7.2 Quake hit last year? Yes, you can find that in the Livestream Replays playlist. I think I did a screen capture of myself where I reacted where I first noticed it, and it says Earthquake, I think, on the bottom of the thumbnail. So Annette, take a look at that video in the Livestream Replays playlist, which you guys are going to find this video at some point this weekend. I don't know when I'm going to put this out, because I have a couple of other videos that I want to try and get out. So you may see this one either at 12 o'clock at some point this weekend, or at 6 o'clock at some point this weekend. So just know that it'll be in the Livestream Replays playlist, as well as officially on the channel as well too, right there. So last couple here. Let's see here. Outlaws Generation. What it do? How you doing there, man? I worked 53 hours this week, got myself a Jersey Mike's for dinner, and I plan to buy a gaming chair soon. Very nice, man. You can definitely put that chair to use after 53 hours, brother, man, for sure. But great to have you on here. Thanks so much for jumping on here at the end here. Outlaws Generation. Ed Keaton saying goodbye to Bus. You guys are all amazing peeps here in the house. Yes, the earthquake happened on 4th of July. Good times, good times. So, allow me to leave you with some words of encouragement, words of wisdom to Drew's Food Reviews. No cat cutting allowed. Still, I'm going to remind you, to Freddy Foodie King, no nug stealing whatsoever. There's no promos going on at Wendy's anyway, but I don't want to see you with pantyhose on your face in the drive-thru asking for nugs very hostilely in the drive-thru. Please, Freddy. Please. So, it's all good. So, guys, it's all about the positivity. Let's keep it going out there. Let's see here. Shawnee Mack, Nehemiah Sanders, we got E. Ricard, we got all the peeps in the house here. You already know what it is. Everyone is enjoying each other's comments here on the stream, I can tell. You guys are deleting lots of stuff, so I may have to find out what's going on there. But I appreciate you guys from jumping on here right now. Ride the Stunner, why haven't I done Firehouse subs? You know what? They are not exactly local to me. There is one that's not too far away, but I haven't been able to get over as much as I can. My schedule with a lot of the stuff that I do, things always seem to get pushed. And honestly, I just don't know if I'm going to be making it over there anytime soon. But I hear great things. Trust me, I hear great things. You already know. Ed Keaton, great stream tonight. Have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe, everyone. Stay frosty. God bless everyone. And Ed, thanks so much for the super chat donations, and to all of you guys who have donated towards the channel. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you so much. Drew is 6 months sober from cat cutting. We haven't made that 6 month point yet. I think it's more like maybe 3.5. But I'll give you it. I'll give you that. You're improving, Drew. You're improving. You already know what it is. Annette, really need some positivity right now, having some unexpected health issues at the moment. Hopefully everything turns out okay. Everyone, before we close this one out here, let me see some prayer hands in the chat. Please hit some prayer hands in the chat here for Annette Cervantes. We want to make sure that she definitely gets past whatever is ailing her. And to all of you guys who may be feeling the same way right now for whatever the reason, let's see some prayer hands in the chat as a sign of just goodwill and good faith to to everybody here in the chat, because you know, united we stand, you know, individually we fall. So many words like that, I think, like that. But it's important for us to kind of band together and to get through this one thing at a time. So again, shout outs. We got a bunch of them coming through over here right now. Thank you so much for doing that to everybody here. Freddie, thanks, Ian. I've been giving nuggets free. Good times, good times. It is a good time right there. All right, it is awesome to see you guys on here right now. Thank you so much for doing what you do over here for everyone in the community. To everyone keeping it positive and everyone doing the right thing and just having fun doing what they're doing on the platform. Keep doing that, guys. Like I said, that is really the biggest thing. Whatever makes you the most happiest, create the content that really makes you feel like you've put out something that you really can be proud of, that you think people are going to enjoy, it's going to resonate with them. And let's just keep going. Let's just keep doing that. And that's really the best thing there. For me, it's always going to be that. You're always going to find that. And I'm always going to be pumping that out to you guys there multiple times every single week. And again, tomorrow, the next video, I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Shawnee Mack, why do I keep getting this pin merch message after dismissing it? You know what? I'm testing that feature out on the very top, and I didn't want to actually say anything about it. I wanted to see how it looked, but I wasn't sure how it was going to look. So if you guys are seeing on the very top of your chat a pinned message there, I'm probably not going to have that the next time around. That is actually my cap, finally approved on Teespring, believe it or not. So we may do something with that down the road, but I just wanted to see how that actually worked. That was a feature that's newly added to this, and I wanted to see how it is. So if you wanted to take a look at what that is, you may actually find that listed down below any of my videos. Take a look at that. Let me know what you think. It took forever to finally get that approved in a way that was going to make sense for Teespring for some reason, and I'll tell you that story eventually. But let me know if you guys like that. At the same time, available in 3 different styles, thankfully. So I'm very happy that that's finally taken care of. So with that, again, guys, thank you so much for jumping onto the stream tonight. We're going to close this one out here right now. It is September 25th. I cannot believe that it is seriously the end of September right now. So now officially I am into my 47th year as once the month ends, which is pretty crazy right now. But shout outs to each and every one of you guys again. New content coming tomorrow. You'll find this stream replay available at some point this weekend. For those of you who may have jumped on here a little bit on the late side there, I know some messages are coming through. Have no fear. You guys have the replay that's available to you there this coming weekend at some point. Again, it'll just probably pop up at some point there, typically either at 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock. I haven't decided yet. I'm trying to fit a couple of things around. But let me know what you guys think. Drop some comments down below if you're catching this on the replay right now. Thank you for doing that. And guys, let's just keep it frosty. You know, I mean, we got a whole, you know, new month coming up, and it is one of the best months ever because it's October. It's Halloween month. It's horror movie month. It's late night horror movie watching month, and it is all good right there. So absolutely an awesome situation. Michael Domayer, you stay frosty as well. Andrew, please keep streams opportunities to meet other YouTubers. Yes, it's the way to do it. I'm telling you, you got some great people here in the community and the chat, and it's all about the interactivity and everyone keeping it positive and getting to know each other. And hopefully, if you jump on over to a lot of these content creators and you like what you see, you are really going to enjoy what you're going to see. Then subscribe, and obviously you have some new content in your feed. So it's very important. Just keep building out the community, and if you're an aspiring content creator, create. Put your personal stamp on whatever it is that you're doing. Do it to the best of your ability, and always try and overcome what you did previously there. It's all about trying to, you know, do better than what you did the last time and keep improving and keep reaching for it there. So the best advice I can give you guys is just create, and let the rest just speak for itself. So let me jump on over here real quick, and we'll close the stream out. I'll be here in the chat for as long as YouTube will allow it. Right after I end the stream here, I'll try and type as much as I can to you guys. But thank you so much. And again, shout outs to each and every one of you guys for jumping on here right now. I greatly appreciate you guys for the Super Chats donations. Marshall blowing up crazy with the Super Chat donations as well. I'm very humbled and very grateful. Thank you so much for that. Andrew, Ed Keaton, Kyle Broussard, anyone else who I may have missed, take a look at those show notes down below. And it's all good. Guys, thank you so much again. Let me jump on over, and with that, this is Ian K closing out the live stream officially for September 25th. It's temporary though, guys. I will be back, and we're going to be doing this again. It's going to be a lot of fun going forward. And like I always say, I've got brand new content every single week here on my channel, so why you stay tuned for the next review coming real soon. In the meantime, stay frosty. It's the high quality foodie features that you guys know here on Peep This Out Review in live and replay form, guys, and I'm having a blast doing this every single time. So keep it frosty, stay safe, and just be good to each other. Please. Awesome times there. Outlaws Generation jumping in with the Super Chat donation at the very end. Appreciate that there, Mike, there. Let's go Seahawks. Have a great weekend, you as well. Guys, stay up. And now that I have you, I was waiting for that, so it popped in over here, and there you go. In effect, Outlaws Generation in there as well, too. So, guys, stay frosty with it, and I will definitely talk to you soon. See ya.